Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. From the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. I'll be taking you on our flight from here to there this evening. We're going to push back shortly, taxi out to runway 2R, take off towards the west, light winds at 10 knots. We're going to circle around the city before our heading of 270, ascending to an altitude of 11,000 meters before our arrival into there. Flight time tonight of 15 hours. Okay, there's one small problem. Unless you are the most dedicated aviation geek, you probably have no idea what I've just said to you. Kia ora everyone, I'm Nathan Rose. I am a lead consultant and Microsoft MVP with Capgemini based here in beautiful Auckland, New Zealand. So I've started off the year taking Mark Smith's 90-day mentoring challenge. Mark, you are a legend. Thank you. And as I've been going through the first module on communication and spending quite a bit of time on aircraft last week, visiting my family in the States, I was struck by the fact that far too often when I engage with clients in workshops, I speak to them the same way that airline pilots talk to us. You see, when airline pilots give us a briefing before the flight, they're trying to be helpful. They're giving us information that is directly relevant to the flight. It impacts us directly. The only problem is that most of us don't really understand the implication of these things. I don't really know what a flight heading means. I don't understand the implication of winds at 10 knots and those sorts of things. As a passenger, what I care about is, are we on time? How long's the flight? And what time do we get there? Now, the purpose of this video isn't to throw shade at airline pilots. They have a difficult and responsible job, and I'm truly grateful for what they do. But the point that I am trying to make is, as a Power Platform consultant, far too often we talk to clients in the exact same way. I don't know about you, but when I get asked a question in a workshop and the client says, okay, when I do this, that needs to happen, I instantly launch into, yeah, we'll use a modern PowerFX command, which will patch to Dataverse, which will trigger a Cloudflow, and blah, 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 blah. And of course, the client's eyes glaze over. When I'm trying to be helpful, I'm giving them information that is directly relevant to their use case and what they're trying to achieve. The only problem is they don't really understand it. They're in the world of, when I do this, that needs to happen. So what I need to do to better communicate with them as a consultant is to understand their world and communicate with them in a language that they understand. Okay, when you do this, that needs to happen. Ask clarifying questions around it, but my default position should not be to launch into the technical dissertation on what we're going to do behind the scenes in the Power Platform. Now, I'm not saying to dumb things down. I'm not saying to hide the technical details from clients. If it's something that they're interested in, if it's something that they understand and they want to talk about, by all means, have that conversation with them. One of my favorite things to do is educate clients on what's actually happening in the Power Platform behind the scenes. But it shouldn't be our default position. Our default position should be to talk to them in a language that they understand, using business language. When I do this, that needs to happen. And before we launch into the detailed technical explanation, so that we have better workshops with the clients, better understanding, and ultimately better outcomes. That's it from me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.